And Lucy is called in. She is grandmother of Julia, was with Julia at the footy on Friday night when this incident erupted. Hello, Lucy.
Yes, good morning, Neil. Thanks for taking my call.
That's okay. You must have been a bit scary for you too, was it?
Well, initially it was because it was very unexpected. We've been going to the football just a few times this year, and there's been no incidents whatsoever, and it was out of character for her to come out and say this. But when Adam pointed out to security, to get security to remove her, security came down and they pointed to her and said, "Come with me." And I said, "Where are you taking her?" And they said, "Oh, just up the top of the race, we want to speak to her."
Yeah.
So they took her, and they didn't say to me, "Well, you come too." And maybe I should have got up and said, "Well, I'm coming too." But in the circumstances, I had two other granddaughters with me as well.
How old are
The oldest, they're 15 and 14.
they? Okay, yeah.
And Julia's 13. Mind you, she's just turned 13. So with that, I was sort of looking to see, and they took her up the top of the race, but I couldn't see where they actually took her because people were having a go at her and everything.
That's rough, isn't it?
And then I was sort of looking around, and then what happened was security came back down to me after, I'm not quite sure how long it was after they took her away, because I was sort of very concerned. And they said, "Oh, are you the grandmother?" And I said, "Yes." They said, "Can you come with us?" And I said, "Well, just a moment." I said, "I've got two other granddaughters here too." So with that, I said to the girls, "Get your things and come with us," right? So then they marched us up to the top, and I said, "Well, where are we going?" They said, "Oh, to the police thing." And I thought, oh. So anyway, they marched us off through the MCG, and we went into the police room. And when we entered, the police girl there said to me, she said, Julia was sitting on the chair crying, and she said, "Julia's been very honest with us." And so then that, to me, that means that they had already questioned her without a guardian.
Yeah, sounds like it, yeah.
So with that, another police lady came out, and we had a conversation there, and I said, "Listen," I said, she didn't really know what she was saying. If it was possible, I'm quite sure she would like to apologise to Adam Goodes tonight."
Yep.
Thinking that, they would be going back to Sydney and so forth. I said it would be good if they could have a personal contact. Anyway, they said they'll have to go and speak to Adam Goodes. And I said, okay. They just told us to wait there. And with that, they were gone for quite some time. Now, when we were actually walking up the race, the final siren went. Right? So with that, they went and spoke to Adam, and they were gone for quite some time. They came back, and the police had a report, I think it was about 2.5 pages of information, and they just sort of read one line, like one paragraph, and they just said that Adam was very hurt with what she had said. And I said, I can understand that. I said, nobody likes to be called names. And they indicated that he felt sorry for her and that he wasn't going to press charges.
Yeah.
So then they said that they were going to ask her some questions with us present, and she didn't have to answer them if she didn't want to.
Yeah.
So they had asked her questions and so forth. And
what sort of questions did they ask?
Well, they asked her, why she said it. Did she know the meaning of it? And in the context of it. And do you know what this means? And she said yes. And I interrupted. And I said, no, she doesn't. She doesn't know the concept of what she meant.
She knew it was an ape's an ape, but she didn't know it was racist, did she?
No, she didn't think it was racist.
Yeah.
And they also brought in the AFL.
What?
And but they didn't speak to us. They went into the other little room, the police room, and they had a conversation, and then they just left.
Who? What? Just an AFL representative, was it?
Yes, yes.
You don't know who it was?
No, and to be honest, the police didn't even. The police that were there did not even tell us their names or anything, right? To give us any information, and they said to me, they didn't even ask me how we got there, whether we had to catch a train or whether we drove.
Yeah.
And then by the time they went through the questions and everything, then they said, well, okay, this is Adam's not going to press any charges, so we could go. So they escorted us out to the turnstiles, and they said, you go out here, and off we went.
What time would that have been?
12:20.
Jeez.
But when the police lady was asking Julia the questions, and she said, now I have to go back to the station and write up this report, and I've got a 2-hour drive home. And I said, well, excuse me. I said, we've got a 3-hour drive home.
Mm.
And with that, we just signed what the statements that Julia had made, and they escorted us out and we left.
So do you think the police handled it well or not?
Well,
They shouldn't have been questioning her without you there.
They shouldn't have questioned her in the first place without me, and they shouldn't have. Security shouldn't have taken her away. They should have, on her own. They should have taken us all.
What sort of girl is she?
She's a very good kid. She's bright. It's out of character for her to come out with a comment like that.
How will she handle it, Lucy?
Well, I think she's pretty strong, so I think she'll handle it very well. But under the circumstances, she is hurt by it, and I think we're even hurt more, that she'd been hounded down by the media and everything. But probably in the light of it, it may be good because she's on her way home. She did indicate that she was going to write a letter of apology to Adam Good and to the Collingwood Football Club. We're not members, so the police said, they can't take our membership off us.
Mm.
And
it'd be rough to do that, though. I mean, look, she's done a silly thing, whether it was racist or not.
Has.
Even if it didn't have a race, even if she was saying it to a white player, you shouldn't go around calling people apes, should you?
No,
well, I do.
No. I come from a European background, and I've been called lots of things. And, it does hurt, but, I don't take it to heart. I'm not going to go and say, you call me such and such, I want you dealt with.
So Julia has got some ethnicity herself, has she?
Probably in a distant background because my parents are European.
Okay.
So, yes, yeah. But in that respect, that's no, bearing on what's eventuated. But under the circumstances, she's apologised. She's apologised to Adam. She's written a letter. He's accepted that. Eddie Maguire's spoken to her. He's accepted that, she's done the right thing by apologising.
Yeah.
I think it's about time everybody got off the bandwagon. We know that under the circumstances it was the Indigenous round.
Yep.
And I guess in the heart of the matter, under the circumstances, that wasn't very good.
Oh, no. Okay, well, let's hope everybody learns from it. I think the police have got to learn, the MCC's got to learn, everybody's got to learn from it. And even Adam Good might now say in retrospect he shouldn't have pointed to her because of her age. Deal with it in some other way.
But
although he was upset.
Well, I can understand that. And under the circumstances, I suppose, in the heat of the moment, he was probably unaware of her age at the time. I'm not sure. But, the things are that it's been done. He's pointed her out, but he's accepted her apology.
Do you reckon you'll go back to the football with her? Will she want to go back now?
Well, they do. Honestly, they really do. They love Collingwood, and we have tickets to go to other games upcoming.
And you'll go?
And I said to them yesterday, I said to the girls, I'm not sure whether we should go to the football anymore. And they looked at me and they go, but Nan, we want to go. Eddie said, they said they're not going to stop us from going to the football.
Yeah.
And I said, I just at this moment feel, should we go to the football or shouldn't we?